Hello and welcome back to another edition of Potential Pick Episodes in Review, and here we are with the finale, or maybe the series finale, of WandaVision. Chris and I here have been reviewing these episodes one by one, and of course, we're very excited to do a whole season review. This one is just going to be non-spoilery. We're going to just kind of talk a little bit about highlights, but the next, for our potential picks, we're going to go into full in-depth review here. But we want to talk about, again, really the highlights, how it wrapped up the season, and a little bit of fun tidbits that we got excited about. Chris, right off the bat for me, I thought I really enjoyed what this episode brought, but I thought there was some things it was lacking. I think it didn't stick it was a very sloppy landing that it stuck. That's
just for me personally, I expected so much from this episode that did not deliver. There's a lot of things I think it did well. Again, we can't get into major plot points here, but I think it wrapped up a lot about who Wanda is and who Wanda will be going forward.
I mean, it really set up a proper origin story for her because, again, she really hadn't have like a real introduction, and her character really hasn't had a huge presence in the films, I would say, in the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely been a strong warrior that has, popped up in certain films, but this kind of given her the chance to be almost reborn as this new character. And, again, the idea of the Scarlet Witch, a name that for most nerds is pretty well known, but the way that they kind of took it and made it almost like their own lore along with the comics to start her off on a new path to really try to discover what this power that she has and maybe how she can use it. And along the way, there was definitely things I think they wrapped up certain elements that the show had from the very beginning of episode 1. And, again, there's some great typical Marvel. We had some great battle scenes. We had some great visuals, and I think it was a touching ending for what this. If this really is a one-off series, which I kind of feel that's the vibe they were giving, is it's just a one-time limited series. I think they did everything that they needed to. I just was expecting a lot more twists and turns with certain characters. There's couple things that I was like, that's it. That seemed bigger earlier in the season. So this is one of those things where, again, I'd like to watch it all cut into like one thing. And the week to week, I think that hype machine built up more hype than the show could actually deliver, which I think could be a problem going forward with the other Marvel shows. We don't mind waiting months, sometimes to years, to watch a whole film, but we're going to watch the film. This waiting week to week and only getting so much little bits here and there. My expectations were through the roof, and there's a couple good things, and I wanted more.
I agree. Well, I will say, without giving away stuff, there was a lot of good tidbits for the fans of not only the MCU, but of course the comics. For those of you had to really pay attention to some of the little small, plot points. But you're right, some characters weren't done justice, especially some of these bit characters that I thought was really good. And again, it would be very interesting to see if they kind of put this all into a movie. I would have probably enjoyed it more as a movie straight to Disney Plus, not like some big, like, hey, this is kind of like almost like what Black Widow's doing. I would have liked, maybe a little bit more self-contained movie. But yeah,
I think though it works for the TV because it's a TV show.
Yeah.
That's the theme of the show. Yeah. Is it's a TV show within a TV show. I just think that we could have got a couple more episodes per week. I think them really going.
Well, they should have kept with the format. I think they kind of dropped it. Okay, now the whole plot's revealed. We're just going to forget the premise that we built up. Like, I think it would have been like...
Yeah, I'm still bitter about the Agatha reveal. I think it just came out of nowhere. And, there was things I just feel like Marvel does pretty well with reveals and dropping major plot points. And I just feel like the last 3 episodes, although there was some pretty things to look at and some good visuals, there was nothing that really made me go... which is what I was expecting.
And here's the thing, with Marvel and their shows, they've had great success with that, especially with Netflix, that Netflix cinematic universe with those shows. And also with Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I thought that went well. They had many seasons, but for a show with like a lot of episodes, really good twists. And I thought it was a shame that they didn't bring that kind of storytelling and twisty, telling here, because especially with the quality they're bringing in all these great characters, there should have been more like kind of the rug pulled out of you, and I think it didn't defy our expectations enough, and there wasn't enough build up for some of these little scenes.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with Falcon Winter Soldier next, and soon after I'll be getting Loki, and we're going to be getting so many Marvel shows. So for first at bat, this was a fun show. It's an enjoyable show. It had good humor. It was good storytelling, and if you really just pare it down to, it's a TV quality version of what the MCU normally can give on the big screen. Not bad. A lot of good work, and I think we'll see a lot of fun stuff moving forward. Once again, we will be doing a full spoiler-filled breakdown of the entire season on our potential picks later this week. So please stay tuned for that, because you're not going to miss us breaking down all the tidbits, including some of our favorite little mid-credit scenes and end-credit scenes, which is always a Marvel treat. But you know what? WandaVision, it's amazing to think where that, thinking of that first episode to where it ended, just, a show that's never really been done like this before. So kudos to them for that. I'm excited to see where the Marvel Cinematic Universe goes from here, both
absolutely
in TV form and on the big screen. So also, by the way, listen to the Potential podcast. We got some great stuff coming up, and we're in season 2 now. So
go back and check season 1, check season 2. There's something for everyone.
Season 2.
Subliminal messages.
But thanks, guys. We'll see you next time with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.